Hello everybody, it's me, chargebladeygo, and I will get my drywall painted one day. But anyways, as you notice, I've been on hiatus here and there. That is because I have gotten into another hobby, and that would be Warhammer40k. This is a homebrew model I've made. It's a Razorback with heavy bolter. Homebrew. Yeah, that's it already. But that's why I really haven't been doing that much content, because I've been into the Warhammer hobby. Now, I'm not leaving Yu-Gi-Oh hobby, no. Yu-Gi-Oh I've always been Yu-Gi-Oh, has a place in my heart. Yeah, you know it. Like, literally. Okay, any rate, I don't know why I'm having breathing so much, but let's go in, let's talk and do a comparison between the two hobbies, because I actually been wanting to do this. So, first off, we have the cost. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh is more budget friendly than Warhammer 40k. Even though you can play Warhammer 40k Kill Team with just 3 models, it's like maybe I like most like 55 just for like a random 3-pack that offers you like 3 models. Like the closest thing to mine that would offer you 3 models would be an Interceptor box, which has 3 of them. So there is that. I don't know in terms of the meta. I really don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh would be more costly than Warhammer 40k, because the meta in Warhammer 40k and Yugioh just shift here and there. But I honestly don't know. But in Warhammer 40k, because they do use models and you can't print out models as fast as Yu-Gi-Oh cards, armies can flip-flop. Be like 1 edition, we're currently in 9th, it's a new one. In 9th edition right now, Jakari's meta. 8th edition they won, but now in 9th edition, technically, right now, they're meta. And they got some old models. And if you were a Drakari player, well, boom, there you go. You got a new codex. It's pretty good. And all that jazz. So there is that. So you're kind of saving more. Like with Warhammer, when you buy models and such, your models will last you in the long run. There are some old Yu-Gi-Oh cards that will last you in the long run, depending on the meta. But however, I feel that there's not enough old Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the current meta to outweigh Warhammer 40k. I hope I made some sense when I was saying that. I probably didn't. But let's move on. Okay, now we're going to talk about the setup. Basically making your deck or army. Okay, so I'm just going to be real with you. It's easier to build a deck with Yu-Gi-Oh if you're just buying singles outright. All you gotta do is wait for all of them to come in the mail and put them in card packs and then in a deck box. Then there you go, Warhammer 40k. You have to get the sprues. I actually took some sprues out from the Razorback that I just showed you earlier in the video. You know this one? I had to take some of those out to build that. But anyways, with Warhammer 40k, with miniatures in general, the companies cannot pre-make the models because models usually have multiple war gear options, and also there is homebrew, and there is a possibility that whatever model you buy from, like from Space Marines, if I want to play Imperial Fist, I would have to paint this yellow. If I wanted Salamanders, I would have to paint this green. So that's why you paint your models in Warhammer 40k, even if their factions is all one color, whatever, because of stuff like that. So it does make sense as to why it is, because they have to do it, and if they don't, then that's going to cost them a lot of money. And I am really simple. Oh my gosh, didn't I realize that? But at any rate, let's move on to the next subject. Now let's talk about gameplay. Obviously, it's very two different things. A card game versus tabletop game, which is miniature game. Obviously, miniature games are going to take much longer than a card game, by far. But though, however, Warhammer is much more simpler now to play because Games Workshop, the company that makes Warhammer, they have been trying to simplify the game. But Yu-Gi-Oh, let's be honest, guys. I mean, Link. I mean, the whole entire Link monster and remastered world full and such. Like it confuses the old Yu-Gi-Oh player with the links and synchros of Pendulum confuses old Yu-Gi-Oh players. But if a fan from Warhammer40k that played in 3rd edition but left because they didn't like 4th edition, and now if they want to come back, the rules really haven't changed that much. All they need to do is like get the new codex and such and the new rule book, and then they're good to go. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that you have to buy your own codex for your faction in the rule book for Warhammer40k. Uh, well, that's okay. Now, some Tim Blaychard is gonna tell you about the community comparisons because I have spent time in both communities, and I know somebody from last video that may be like, "Oh, you don't know nothing about the community." Yes, I do. The last video I make was kind of a troll video, to be honest. But at any rate, so community rise, I haven't been into any actual tournaments or locals with Warhammer. So all I can tell you about the experience I have online, I kind of have the same experience with the Yu-Gi-Oh community and Warhammer community. There's probably I know there is toxicity in Warhammer 40k. Don't get me wrong, I know I've like seen it and such. I haven't really personally experienced it, to be frank with you, like I have in Warhammer, because then again, I really haven't been into any Warhammer 40k local, in real life tournament, so to say, because of the I that we have. Man, it's really weird seeing my sunburn because like over here, like I don't have it because my max goes over here when I go outside to work, but like over here, suntan, like dang, you need to put on some sunscreen. I look like a monster. Oh my gosh. Uh, okay, so I did mention about Warhammer 40k and Yu-Gi-Oh's models and cards a while back in this video. I'm talking about investment. Basically, product you invest in. Like, I'm going to invest in this card right here because I think it's going to be meta in the future. Not now, but in the future. Be like, I'm going to get this model just in case they buff it at some point in the future. I say Warhammer 40k has better investment because people still use a lot of old models of Warhammer 40k. Well, that's because GW really hasn't been in, because in the past GW hasn't really been updating models or giving new models to certain factions or whatnot. But still, even so, even with models, even with armies that do get updated models, people still use models that came way back in the day. They still use them to this very day in the meta. And with Yu-Gi-Oh, there are old cards that are used, but not that much. I should probably wear Max next time I do one of these videos, I swear. But that's my viewpoint on it, at any rate. So, in the end, Sunteam chargebladeygo would like to tell you that, yes, both have the benefits and non-benefits and whatnot. In some areas, to him, in his own personal experience, they are the same. But if you really do want to try out Warhammer 40k or Yu-Gi-Oh, if you want to try Yu-Gi-Oh, I suggest trying out in real life. I suggest researching budget decks that you can make. And if you want to join into Warhammer 40k, I suggest playing some Kill Team or do Combat Patrol, which is a 500-point game. You'll find out what that is when you do research into how the game is played and whatnot. So that's all I got time for you. I'm sorry for freaking you out. I should probably wear a face mask over this. Next time I'm going to do that. Anyways, I hope you had a wonderful day. This has been Blade, Chargebladeygo, signing out.